This is ClearSky Productions here, and welcome to my official Major League Baseball 2018 Postseason Predictions video. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, now for those of you who saw, this is ClearSky Productions here, and welcome to my official 2018 Major League Baseball Postseason Predictions video. Now, for those of you who saw my original, well, actually, I made two versions, an older and an updated version. But if you saw my original predictions video before the start of the MLB season, you will understand that the season did not go as I thought. But then again, it didn't go as a lot of people thought. I mean, who would have expected the Oakland A's to be in the playoffs? Nobody would have guessed that. And no one would have guessed that Arizona Diamondbacks would have been out of the playoffs. Actually, I don't know if that was in my predictions or not, but that came to a shocker when the season went on for me. But anyway, so these postseason predictions are very different from what a lot of people expected in some ways. So these should be some exciting playoffs. Earlier today's Monday, October 1st as I'm recording this, so earlier today we had not one but two Game 163s, which I thought were both exciting games, even though I was cheering for the Rockies in the second game. But hey, at least the Cubs lost, though. There's that. So we already have some exciting Game 163 action today, and it's technically not even postseason yet. But just one more thing before I dive into the predictions. Just a reminder, for National League we have the Los Angeles Dodgers, National League West champions, the Milwaukee Brewers, surprisingly, the National League Central, and the Atlanta Braves, which I think is even more shocking for the National League East. And then the American League, we have Astros AL West, Indians AL Central, duh, and Boston Red Sox AL East champions. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the predictions. I'm going to start with the National League. We'll get to the American League later on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the predictions right now. I'm going to start with the National League right now. We'll get to the American League later on. Okay, so first up, the National League wildcard game, which oddly enough was not decided for either team until earlier today, the day before. Anyway, so the National League wildcard game, we have the Cubs and the Rockies. This is going to be a close game. Close game, but I'm going with my gut feeling. I'm going to try not to be biased in this video. I'm going to try to be as honest as possible. I mean, I am a Rangers fan, and yeah, my team's not in the playoffs this year, unfortunately, but yeah, that should at least prevent some, bias. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Cubs versus Rockies. Close game. I'm going to go with the Cubs on this one, and that's kind of brutal because I despise the Cubs and was so glad to see them lose today, but in all seriousness, I am going with the Cubs on this one with a final of 6-4. But then again, this is going to be a very close game. I feel like it could go either way. My final prediction is Cubs 6-4. That's just, we'll see how it goes. Could go either way. Now, if this game were being played in Colorado, then that would be no contest. Rockies would annihilate the Cubs in that situation. But this game is not in Colorado. It's at Wrigley Field in Chicago, so it could go either way. But like I said, Cubs, my prediction on that, final score of 6-4. So the Rockies are eliminated in the wild card game again. For the National League Division Series, that gives us the Cubs and the Brewers. For this one, I'm going to go with the Brewers in 4 because I believe the Brewers' home field advantage will really help them a lot in this series. The Cubs, I just don't think benefit as much with home field advantage, just from what I've seen. I mean, they lost at home in Game 163 today, so I'm going to go with Brewers in 4 over this one. Not to mention, I guess the Cubs, even though it was 2016 and not last year, 2017, I feel like the Cubs are still kind of in that World Series hangover, sort of. So I'm going to go with Brewers in 4 on that one. And then also in the NLDS, we have Dodgers versus Braves. I'm going to go with Braves in 5 on this one. I mean, Dodgers are a great team, don't get me wrong. They're a phenomenal team. But I think the Braves are going to win in 5 in this one. I just think the Braves are going to have more momentum in this game. I mean, Dodgers. We've seen 6 straight titles from the Dodgers. They're probably going to choke again. That's just me. But who knows? I mean, again, I'm predicting a 5-game series here in the division series, so it could go either way. I'm going with Braves on this one in 5. That gives us Brewers versus Braves in the NLCS. Both great teams. I'm going to go with the Braves in 6 on this one. As great as the Brewers are, I just think the Braves are, in my opinion, the most likely to win the World Series as a National League team. In other words, if National League is going to win the World Series, it's going to be Braves, in my opinion. So there's that. Yeah, so Braves advanced to the World Series. Now let's get on to the American League, and then we'll get on to the World Series itself. Okay, first up, the American League wildcard game. That's going to be the New York Yankees versus the Oakland Athletics. Now, Oakland, surprising team this year. We all thought they were going to be the bottom of the barrel of the AL West. Yes, I know it was the Rangers. Don't tell me in the comments. I already know that. I know that. Anyway, another close game, actually. Now, most people will go with the Yankees on this one because the Yankees are a very good team at home, which I agree. But I don't know. I'm going to go with the A's on this one. And maybe that's an out there prediction, but I'm going to call it 7-6, the final. I think this is going to be even closer than the National League game, in my opinion. These are going to be some excellent wild card games this year. I'm not kidding. I'm going to say A's, 7/6. A lot of you will probably disagree with me on that. That's fine. These are opinions after all. So for the ALDS, that would give us the A's versus Red Sox. And here's another unpopular opinion, but I'm going to go with the A's in 5 on this one. Okay, don't get me wrong. I am very much aware that the Red Sox have the best record in all of Major League Baseball, certainly in the American League. I just think the Red Sox are kind of being overhyped, and they might possibly even be overhyping themselves. I just think the Red Sox, kind of like what we've seen before, they're going to get over their heads, ahead of themselves, and they're just going to get blown out. I mean, the A's have a lot of momentum. I think they can beat the Red Sox in 5 on this one. I mean, yeah, a lot of you will probably disagree with that one too, but that's just me. We'll see how it goes. So A's in 5 on that one. And then, okay, Indians versus Astros. This one's pretty easy. I'm going to go with the Astros in 4 on this one. I know some people who are saying it's going to be an effortless sweep. The Astros will sweep the Indians, which is possible, very possible. But the Indians, while I do agree the Indians are in a, at best, mediocre division, no, the Indians aren't a bad team at all. Do I think they're as good as the Astros? Well, no, because I think the Astros will beat them in 4. But I do think the Indians could at least manufacture one win from the series. So maybe not a sweep, but I'm going to go with Astros in 4 over the Indians. So that gives us A's versus Astros ALCS, which is also pretty easy. A's, as much as I would love to see you go to the World Series, yes, I'm a Rangers fan. I did grow up going to A's games, so I do like the A's. And as much as I would love to see you go to the World Series, if I had to be honest with this one, I'm going to have to go with Astros in 5. I mean, I hate to say that. I mean, if the A's can miraculously win the ALCS, that'd be awesome, but, you know, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't want to come across as biased. So, I'm going to go with Astros in 5 over this one. So, Astros go to the World Series again. That gives us Braves versus Astros, the World Series. This one, I'm going to say Braves in 5. And I know some of you will disagree with me on that too. I mean, don't get me wrong, Astros are a phenomenal team. They have the best rotation, I believe, in at least the American League, if not all of Major League Baseball. You know, the Astros are a great team. I just think it's the Brewers' year this year. And not to mention, with the Astros being defending world champions, they could very well come across with that World Series hangover like a lot of teams do. Repeating's not impossible, because obviously it's happened before. But that's my prediction on that. I'm going to say Braves in 5 over the Astros. The Braves, I think they can do it. And I know a lot of people will disagree with that prediction based solely on the fact that National League is just not as good record-wise as the American League. You know, I know that. But like I said earlier, if any National League team is going to win the World Series, I think it's going to be the Braves. The Braves, in my opinion, have the best chances at winning the World Series. And so, Braves, I would have never guessed this 6 months ago, but I do think that it is your year to win the World Series. Now it's time to watch the postseason starting tomorrow and watch all of my predictions go completely out the window, probably like everybody else's. Or not, we'll see. This is ClearSky Productions. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Or even if you didn't enjoy it, thank you for watching anyway. That's about it. So leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, all that good crap. That's it. That's all for now. So until next time, this is Aaron Cosby from ClearSky Productions, signing off. Good night, folks.